Now, we are calling this press conference today in order to appeal to those in Middle Malaysia to reject the politics of lies and hate by the very people who advocates racial separation, as shown by UMNO only for Malays, MCA only for Chinese, MIC only for Indians. This is racial separation and racial segregation at its worst. And yet you see the very people who talks about racial segregation and racial separation. Therefore, UMNO, a non-Malay cannot join. Similarly for MCA, a non-Chinese do not join. And yet, these are the parties who criticize the DAP. Just because we appoint 2 Malay members into the CEC. Now we continue to be amazed why Barisan Nasional, UMNO, MCA Gerakan can make such incredible statements about accommodating all Malaysians when their own party does not even practice that. Now we accept the results made by the delegates. We accept the decision and we respect the decisions made by the delegates at the National Congress. But to criticize the DAP for the decisions made by the Congress, of course, we accept the results, but in terms of projecting DAP's multi-racial image, an ideal situation would be to allow a few Malay candidates to be elected. But this is a democracy. We do not control what the delegates' choice or who the delegates chooses. And I think this shows that unlike UMNO or other Barisan Nasional parties, it is all remote controlled. They are all like robots. DAP delegates are not robots. BN delegates are all robots. Just listen to orders only. They make the choice. We accept and respect the decision, but of course, in terms of projecting DAP's image, the election of a few could be better. But that has also been addressed by the appointments of 2 Malay leaders into the party, top Central Executive Committee. To have the former Prime Minister, to have the Prime Minister himself stating just because we appoint 2 into the top CEC, that shows we only support one race. I think it's incredible. DAP is a multiracial party. We allow Malays, Chinese, Indians, Ibans, Karazans. And here I have a Karazan and an Iban leader into the top Central Executive Committee. And I think DAP's record is much superior to Barisan Nasional. Is there any, does UMNO, MCA, MIC or Gerakan, do they have Malay, Chinese, Indians, Iban, Karazan members in the top decision-making body, the CEC? Only the DAP. And yet, UMNO and MCA can make such incredible statements that we are controlled by one race. I mean, how can UMNO, which only fights for one race, or supposed to fight for one race, UMNO actually only fights for on projects. When they tear down Ko Sukun's picture, did any Gerakan leader talk about sending coffee to their family, to their leader and their families? And yet, we never tear down Ko Sukun's picture. They talk about sending coffins to me and my family. That is a serious threat. No action taken. That is Gerakan. Threaten, not only how to threaten non-Malays, non-Muslims, but willing to be an obedient puppet of UMNO. And now, they criticize DAP as a multiracial party. We open our membership to all races. Our leadership has Malays, Chinese, Indians, Kadazans, Ibans. And I said that my family was very upset that Barisan National leader can threaten to send coffins to me and my entire family. And yeah, I don't see any stern action. The Prime Minister, when you step on his picture, you don't ever threaten his life, you step on his picture, handcuff. Here you threaten the Chief Minister of the state by threatening to send coffins, nothing happened. Now, I want to ask, when, as I said just now, do you threaten to send coffin to UMNO when they tear down Gerakan Ko Sukun's picture? Did they do that? No. Shows what? They only know how to bully non-Muslims and non-Malays. That is Gerakan. UMNO also. I want to say this. All our leaders here, whether Malays, Chinese, Indians, Ibans or Kadazans, even though we may come from different races, but we serve all Malaysians. A Chinese leader in DAP does not serve only Chinese. We serve Malays, we serve Indians, we serve Ibans, we serve Kadazans. Just as Edwin Bonsi has a Kadazan leader in Sabah, as a DAP leader, he serves not only the Kadazan community, but also the Dusun, the Murut, the Chinese, as well as the Muslims in his state. We don't differentiate like Barisan Nasional. They serve only based on race. We defend all Malaysians. And we oppose all oppression. It doesn't matter whether you are Malay, Chinese or Indian. If you commit wrong, we will oppose you. That's why DAP fights against MCA. When they are involved with corruption, oh, they say this one is Chinese fight Chinese. When DAP fights against UMNO, they say, oh, this is anti-Malay. We defend all, we fight all who are wrong, regardless of race, regardless of religion. And I expect nothing less from my Malay comrade leaders, from my Indian comrade leaders, from my Kadazan comrade leaders, from my Iban comrade leaders, as well as my Chinese comrade leaders. So we regret and we condemn the Prime Minister for playing race. We will stick to Middle Malaysia. How can the Prime Minister talk about Middle Malaysia when even his party does not endorse One Malaysia? One Malaysia is not supported by UMNO. We will stick to Middle Malaysia. Even though we are subject to this campaign of hate, campaign of lies against the DAP. We stand together. We stand together here.